So I had reached the objective. The objective wasn't for him to get to the end of the test. The objective was for him to see what the test is like, number one, and number two, like it and consider using it in the future. Then he didn't, he said, can I finish it later or tomorrow? And I said, yes, sure. And I extended the test to make sure he could do that. Then we had a conversation this week at some point. He was off in Bahrain with his family, and I asked him if he had completed it. He said no, and I said, well, I said something like, well, it's already over, but I can extend it if you'd like me to. And that was the mistake, actually, because I put a little bit of pressure on him, and there was really no reason to. Like, it didn't matter if he finished it or not. And what I would like to do in the future is reverse that. So I could say, I could state that. I can say, well, yeah, I mean, you saw what you need to see. If you want to finish it, just let me know. I can extend it, but either way, it's completely up to you.
Yeah.
Because it really is like I was looking for closure in my head, which was interesting. I'm not sure exactly why that was. I wanted to kind of finish that process. That was a process that I had running in my head, and I wanted to finish it by him getting to the end of it and then getting his results and just completing that process. And because he wasn't doing that, it was bothering me a little bit, and I took that out on him. So that was one that was
Yeah.
one a conclusion that I drew. One of those two that I mentioned, one conclusion is to just stay focused on that. Like, it's okay. Just get to the objective, not the end of the process. That's the priority. And the second thing that we touched on also is that I think when we are more stable as people, we can take more annoyance, more little annoyances. I was thinking that if you're kind of in a tired, worn out place, if you're feeling a little beat up with a lot going on, and then a little annoyance comes up, that can feel like a lot, and you can lash out over that, and you can even kind of take out your frustration over other things out on that little thing. And so it's both a signal, or it's both a lesson about where to keep priorities, and then I think also a signal that, okay, if I'm getting upset because this guy didn't finish something he really didn't need to finish at all. I in my head I was even thinking we spent like $6 on this test, and he's not getting the full use out of it, which is a little frustrating. But it's fine. Like he did. I got what I needed out of that, and $6 isn't a lot of money, and it's perfectly okay. So it's also a signal to say, okay, if I'm getting upset about something like this, and I wasn't like upset about it, just if this is a spark in my head, then I'm not as stable as I need to be in general. So that was
You know,
my mistake for this week.
it's annoying that even when we are compromised and when we're busier and have less energy, we need to it requires energy to police ourselves a little bit to make sure that we're having
Yeah.
proportionate reactions and that we're not, like you said, taking out something, unrelated situation and bringing it into another one and damaging that one. And that takes even more energy. So it gets harder as it gets harder, and that's annoying.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
we just have to be, I guess, just a little more careful. That's interesting. It's a small one, but it's it feels like it's something that is kind of flies under the radar a little bit that people might not think about,
Mhm.
and that might affect relationships, negotiations, interactions more than we think.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. They always say, or I say this, but I got it from somewhere. In sales or dealing with clients, you want to be interested but indifferent. So like, I want the work. I want the deal. I want to work with you. I want your money. I want the project. But also if I don't get it, it's fine. Not a
Yeah.
big deal. And that's a
Yeah.
very big, a powerful position to be in. But those, when we're compromised, like you said, either big picture, like just life is a lot right now,
Right.
or little picture, for whatever reason,
No sleep.
I'm
Yeah.
I just can't get out of my head that like we have this process running. It's going to take you another 8 minutes to do this, and then you'll get your result. I'll get my money's worth out of it, and like we'll just finish it. We're so close to just finishing it. Why can't you? I don't know, maybe that's just the way my brain works about getting wrapped up in little things like that. And for a few seconds or a few minutes, maybe when it's time, when you get the message, that's when it is for me. When I get the message, and then for just a little bit, like that's all, like that blocks out my vision. And so, yeah, whether it's a big picture, making sure that you're more stable, whether it's you have enough rest or you're drinking enough or you have enough money or whatever it is, or if it's little picture, flagging up those emotions when they come and having an algorithm for how to deal with them. Yeah, I think that's important.